right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
No Paradise City for St. Louis this weekend. Guns N' Roses postponed tonight's big show. A look back at the band's infamous 1991 concert turned riot here in St. Louis.
How about this morning? Temperatures start off in the 40s and 50s throughout the state. How long we can hold on to this weather before things change over the next couple of days?
But first, new details in a deadly Hamilton Heights shooting.
It was senseless, and it was cold-blooded.
Why the victim's widow wants to make contact with the suspect's family.
We want to thank you for joining us at 10 tonight. I'm Brent Solomon. Police have identified the man killed in Thursday's shooting as Jesse Jones. He owned a towing company and was working when he was shot. Diamond Palmer joins us now after catching up with his widow. Diamond.
Well, Brent, right now, Krista Jones says she's still searching for answers and justice for her husband's murder. Her days are filled with grief, shock, and a lot of tears. She tells me she's ready to continue to run her husband's towing business in his honor.
Less than a year ago, Krista Jones was celebrating her new marriage with Jesse Jones. But Thursday, she became a widow.
It makes you lose a little bit of faith in humanity.
Jones says her husband operated JJ's Towing and Recovery, and he'd done so since 2017. Thursday afternoon in the 5900 block of Hamilton Terrace in North St. Louis, Jesse was called to repossess a woman's car who was also in the process of moving. Jones describes the situation as her husband just trying to be a helping hand.
I said, well, come on, hop in. I'll drive you wherever we need to go, and then I'll help you unload. And that's what he did. And unfortunately, it was to his demise this time.
Jones knew something was wrong after Jesse quit answering his phone. The 45-year-old father was found shot in the left arm and was not breathing when police arrived. Saturday, the circuit attorney's office charged Dwayne Davis with first-degree murder, robbery, armed criminal action, and unlawful possession of a firearm.
The next and last time that I will ever see him will be to release him to the morgue so he will be cremated.
Through the pain of losing her husband and best friend, Jones is supported by family. She says she also hurts for the people on the other side of this tragedy.
We're not the only victims, and my heart goes out to them because in a sense, they've lost something too.
Jones tells me that in the next few days, she plans to reach out to the suspect's family because she understands they're dealing with loss too. Right now, police have not identified a motive, but anyone with information is urged to call the Homicide Division directly at 314-444-5371.
All right, thanks for that information, Diamond. Well, after months of car thefts, Hyundai owners in our area have access to a tool to prevent them. Today, officials at the Urban League handed out free anti-theft devices in Jennings. They partnered with St. Louis County to do it. A representative from Hyundai was on hand, saying that the goal here is to give you peace of mind.
We're going to make sure that 600 to 1,000 people this weekend feel safer about their Hyundai in St. Louis, and that's key.
There's another opportunity to get one of these devices tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. You can stop by Urban League in Jennings. You don't need an appointment. Today, a local family awarded a $745 million settlement due to a tragic car crash. 22-year-old Trenton Geiger is in prison after pleading guilty to involuntary manslaughter. He was found huffing fumes before colliding into the urgent care that 25-year-old Marissa Polittle worked in. The jury found United Brands Corporation responsible for 70% of the verdict and Coughing Cardinal LLC for 20%. Those companies created or sold a nitrous oxide dispenser that Geiger inhaled just before that crash. They found Geiger was only responsible for 10%. Let's get now to your weather first forecast. A lot of activities happening this weekend around St. Louis. Meteorologist Gary Frank letting us know if the weather will hold up.
Yeah, first half was pretty good. We started off nice and cool this morning, and that's where we are now. It is nice and cool, and if you haven't opened your windows, it's probably because you've got allergies. We understand that. We'll update you on the allergies here shortly. Right now, temperatures, though, still at 71 in the city. Otherwise, we're in the low to mid 60s outside of the city. That north breeze continues, 59 in Chesterfield. And this is a morning where, you're headed for the low 50s, even upper 40s in Chesterfield, among other spots. We're going to see a steady diet the next couple of days. And as we remain with that northerly flow, we'll see a little bit more sunshine tomorrow. I think we'll start to heat things up a little bit. But for tonight, my goodness, we have some of these numbers that are headed for the low 50s. Once again, it's crisp, it's cool, but we will see a few changes as well as tomorrow. We'll talk about why it's one of the warmest days we're looking at over the next few days and track our next chance for rain as well, Brett.
All right, Gary, let's check in shortly. Taking a live look now at an empty Busch Stadium. St. Louis was supposed to be Paradise City for tonight's Guns N' Roses concert, but that show was abruptly postponed due to illness. People with tickets are asked to hang on to them. The cancellation adds to the band's rocky relationship with St. Louis. Back in 1991, a dangerous riot broke out at a Guns N' Roses concert at what was now known as the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Well, 90 minutes into the concert, lead singer Axl Rose dove into the crowd, angry about a fan bringing in a camera. The chaos injured dozens of concert goers.
They were tearing out entire rows of chairs, throwing them on the stage. VIP chairs were going on the stage. They were tearing half the stage down. They had speakers were going out into the crowd.
16 people were arrested that night. A year after the riot, Axl Rose was arrested for inciting it. He was sentenced to probation and had to pay a fine. This weekend's show would have been the second time the band performed in St. Louis since 1991. Guns N' Roses played the Dome back in 2017. No word yet on a rescheduled show.